Alright there, singing world. This video will offer Italian pronunciation help for the aria Senza Mamma from Suor Angelica. This is by Puccini. We will explore the tips and tricks to help you sing your aria without accent, and we'll also discuss the proper open and closed vowels, non-phonetic things such as phrasal doubling and assimilation. But before we do that, please direct your attention to the description of this video below. You'll find the entire text written out with those non-phonetic things, open vowels, phrasal doublings, and assimilation. Various links to my websites, my Facebook fan page, and also the most important link is to the RAI pronunciation site. If you follow the link below, or you can type into search engine RAIDOP or RAI Dizionario, and at this site you can put in any word. There's a playback button and you'll hear the word pronounced by a native Italian speaker. Besides that, it shows you the open and closed E's and O's in all the words, and most importantly, what I love about it the most is that it acknowledges the existence of non-phonetic Italian, such as phrasal doubling and assimilation. If these terms are new to you or you're a little confused on when they happen, this is the video for you. By the end, you'll be an expert. So what we will do is go through the text word by word next. So let's start. So at the beginning, we'll do word by word, and then at the end of the video, I'll read the whole line. Okay, so what I'd like to do as we do this word by word is go over all of the different tricks to pronounce without accent, and then go over and examine all the mistakes that I hear, the most common mistakes I hear, either in audition or in performance. Okay, so let's begin. So the first word is Senza. So first thing you'll notice is that the Z makes a TZ sound, right? So Senza is like the Z in Mozart and pizza. Sometimes Z will make a DZ sound, and you just have to memorize it, such as the word olezzo or mezzo. Like a mezzo soprano, it's a DZ. The reason for that, it was a D in Latin, and most of these you just have to memorize when it's Z or TZ or DZ. Okay, so the next thing about the word is you notice that the E makes an A sound as the A in head. Okay, so it's a pure A. It doesn't have a glide as in English, and what I mean by that is in English we say head and then we close our mouths, right? As it goes more to an I at the end. Italian will just stay A, right? So A, ah. So I like to do what's called a purity test, right? So you just do the vowels and you isolate them. So A is the first vowel, ah is the second vowel. So A is a phonetic vowel. Whenever you see A, it is always ah, right? A can either be the E can either be A or A, depending on the word. We'll get into that more later, right? For now, this word is Senza. Again, doing the purity test, Senza. And that's how you make sure the word is correct. Okay, let's go on. Mamma. So this features a double M. So let's talk about single M versus double M in Italian. How do I get a double M? Is I just hold my M in position while I phonate, right? So if I do and my vocal cords are engaged and there is actual pitch on that, it is double M. If I don't allow that to happen, it would be single M. Mamma, mama, mama, like that, see? Single M, mamma. And when we sing, that has to be exaggerated, right? And it's very easy to double something when we don't want it doubled. And somehow it takes a little more diligence to actually double something when we want something doubled. It has to do with anything you do in singing. If it is involuntary, it's usually bad. And if you mean to do it, it's usually something good. It's the same in acting. It's the same with everything you do in music. It has to be specific, right? So, mamma, I mean to double that M, and there we have it, right? And again, the ahs do not harmonize, and what I mean by that, in English, we tend to harmonize the second ah. We neutralize it, right? Mamma, like that, and we go right? So ah, they have to be equal. Mamma. Okay, going on. O is the interjection, O. And this can be either be pronounced open or closed. It's your choice. In this case, in the middle of the sentence, I would prefer that it would be closed. So the other thing about this, this is a monosyllable. It's one syllable vowel, and a lot of monosyllables in Italian are what are known as strong monosyllables, and they cause something non-phonetic to occur. That is, the next word will have a double B, even though a single B is printed. So what will happen is you sing o bimbo. See, so there's a double B, o bimbo. Okay, so first of all, let's do the word bimbo, right? Bimbo, which means child, and became a derogatory word in English in the 1980s. Right? Bimbo, child, doesn't mean anything bad in Italian, right? So this O is a closed O, right? Not an open O. So and O's in Italian can either be like the O in oats or aw, like AW. So aw is open O is closed O. Now, the open O is designated by the broken O symbol in my text when I've written it out, right? So that's from the International Phonetic Alphabet, right? Regular O, plain old O that you see in print, that means closed O. Okay, so o bimbo. So we have two closed O's here, right? And we have a double B. So let's talk about how we make a double B. Double B is actually one of the most difficult doublings to do in Italian correctly because we tend to overdo it, right? So in some double consonants in Italian, you stop phonation. A great example is T. See, so if I do tutto, you see what happens. There really aren't two T's. The T is made by the space, right? Tutto. So double T. Tutto, right? Space, right? Now, double B is done by just holding the lips for just an instant in that, but no phonation, no extra phonation. And not only that, it's not a stop. So it's not o bimbo, nor is it o bimbo, you see, where I try to phonate because it's impossible, right? But it's o bimbo. O bimbo would be single B. See the difference? It's very slight. O bimbo. O bimbo. Notice how it was very smooth. I didn't stop phonation. Single B. O bimbo. O bimbo. Does that make sense, right? So you most commonly, I'll hear people making this mistake. It's sort of like, o mio babbino caro, with a stop for the double B. And when it's really o mio babbino. See what I mean there? So it's a double B, but it's just enough to make it spicy. Okay, let's go on. The word tu has another phonetic vowel, the vowel U. So every time you see U, it's U. It does nothing else. It's always U. Okay? So tu is a strong monosyllable also. So it will double the S in the next word. And you see I've written it out. Sɛi. Right? So it's not like the English word ssɛi I often hear when people sing, especially American singers. It's a. So the purity test on this would be you have an open E and you have a semivowel, right? So open E is written with that Greek E, with the rounded edges, that's the IPA symbol. Sɛi, sɛi, a, head, right? Ai, sɛi. So you have to open your mouth to do that, right? To ssɛi. Now, did you see I did it with a double S? Now, you have to be a little more discreet when you sing with S, because S can be ugly in the theater, right? Tu sei mɔrto. Tu sei mɔrto. You see what I did? It's just very little. And it's actually nice if you do it correctly. It gets your breath going. Okay, let's do the next word. This word actually has an open O and a closed O. And a rolled R. So mɔrto. So let's talk about the R first. When do you roll R and when do you flip R? I come across a lot of confused people on this, confused singers, right? So an R that touches a consonant rolls. An R that's surrounded by vowels is flipped. And that's basically it. That's the rule, right? So all an R has to do is touch a consonant, and in mɔrto, the R touches a T, so it rolls, right? And whatever the pitch is sung through that R, right? Whatever your pitch is, you have pitch, right? So now let's talk about the stress and the unstressed in the word. There's a stressed syllable and there's an unstressed syllable. Usually in Italian, it's on the penultimate syllable, and mɔrto is no exception, right? So mɔrto is the most common stress. The second to last syllable is stressed. Okay, so open and closed vowels, if we talk about the vowels that the O's and the E's that just occur on non-stressed syllables, those are all closed. So that's good news, right? So we know that we only have to worry about the stressed vowel. Now the bad news is on the stressed vowel, O's and E's can either be open or closed, right? So we have to memorize them. There are basically no rules. You have to memorize word by word. And there are some formulas that we can go over. And in another video, one time I will do all of those formulas. But for now, let's just go word by word. So we know that this stress is an open O. And we know also that the stress could be open or closed depending on the word. All the unstressed are going to be closed. So we don't worry about the unstressed vowels. That takes care of 75% of the vowels. We know that they're closed. Okay? So, mɔrto. Okay? And I exaggerated the open to the closed for that, just to demonstrate. Okay, let's go on. Now we have a weak monosyllable, lei. Lei. Okay, so this does not cause a phrasal doubling. So if we talk about monosyllables, there's actually a list of monosyllables. It's in Evelina Colorni's Singer's Italian book. It's the green Diction book. You probably had it in 101. And about 4 or 5 pages from the end, she lists all of the words that cause a phrasal doubling, the monosyllables, and all of the monosyllables that are weak. Now, the weak monosyllables are very few. You can actually count them on 2 hands. So it's actually easier to memorize the weak monosyllables, and then you know all the others are strong. But check it out, check that list out. That's really helpful. There are also a lot of 2-syllable words that cause a phrasal doubling, more like 6. I guess that was, I said a lot, but it's not really. It's just about 6, right? Like dove, contra, sopra. I never remember them all until I see the whole list. But one of these days I will make a video with all of that. So this is le tue, not le tue, right? So you don't double the T. Tue. So possessive pronouns usually have a very strong first vowel and a weak second vowel. Tue, mio, mia, tua. Okay, so things like that. And here we have another double B. So I hear a lot, labbra, with a you shut closed on the first, right? And it's labbra, double B. That's it. Labbra. Your purity test, right? 2 A's. Labbra. Now notice also that R does not harmonize a vowel. Nothing harmonizes a vowel in Italian, right? Vowels do not harmonize. What do I mean by that? If I said car, the R bleeds into the ah, you see? And that's what I mean. The ah harmonizes. So it kind of loses its character very slowly and crumbles into the R, right? In Italian, it would be car. The R and the ah have nothing to do with one another. And when we're not thinking, it's very easy for us to do that. And even start a rolled R. Somebody who's a very diligent student of Italian could still start the rolled R from the English position, from the American English position, labbra, right, from down there, instead of labbra from up there. Okay, so we've already had senza. We can go on. E is a weak monosyllable. So baci, baci, single consonants, right? So ci is chi, chi is ki. So the C needs an H to make it ki, so it's baci. The other thing is I hear baci, double ch, right? The double ch consonant, right? Baci, and how do we get that? We just stop phonation. So the way to test is ai, baci. So you practice the long vowels and it should feel exactly the same. Let's go on. Miɛi. Okay, so now we have 3 vowels in a row and 2 of them are semivowels, right? So the E is open and it's on a stress. Miɛi. And you can practice from the semivowel from the Italian position, right? Not from the IPA sometimes does a J, or we think of it as a Y, but if we did it from an American Y position, it's down too far. Miɛi, miɛi, you know, like yellow. Yellow, right? Yellow would be the Italian, right? See, it starts from E, not from yellow. Yellow, right? So, miɛi. And what happens is that E doesn't become a full vowel. We say it so fast, but we have to remember to get up there, right? Okay, let's go on. Scoloriroŋ. There is not one open vowel in this word. The accent is on the E vowel, you see. Scoloriroŋ. Thus, all the other vowels are closed. Okay, so this word ends in an N, right? So this N will assimilate if you don't take a breath. I mean, if you don't take a breath, a lot of sopranos carry this over. So if you don't take a breath, it's going to assimilate. And I'm going to demonstrate that in a second. But let's do the next word, fredde. Right? So it's closed D. And double D has a stop in phonation, doesn't it? Fredde, 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 single D, right? Fredde, fredde. Okay. So now, if you were to breathe and say scoloriroŋ, scoloriroŋ, fredde, right? You would make an N, right? But if you weren't not to breathe, the N is going to assimilate. Watch very closely. Scoloriroŋ fredde. Scoloriroŋ fredde. So now what just happened? Watch my bottom lip. I'm going to say, right? So my bottom lip touches my top teeth to make a fricative, an F, or a V, or V. And the difference is an F is unvoiced, a V is voiced, right? So what happens is the N does what's called an assimilation. Okay? So the N will go on that bottom lip and kind of just disappear into the F. Watch again. Scoloriroŋ fredde. Now I exaggerated it. You see? I slowed it way down, right? So scoloriroŋ fredde. Right? Even that's exaggerated a bit, right? Rom fredde. Rom fredde. See, if I do it fast, you can hardly see it. Okay, so that's what happens in speech, and it's kind of good in singing because it keeps your legato, and I will demonstrate why. Because if I were to put the N in my mouth, right, where I usually put an N, which is with the tip of the tongue, right, even if I say N, tip of my tongue goes on the ridge behind my teeth, right? So, say I don't take a breath, right? And I go ronna fredde. I'll just do the last syllable into the fredde, see? Ronna fredde. What happens? To sing legato, I have to release the tongue from the roof of my mouth. Now I'm trying to sing legato, so I keep phonating, and I have a shadow vowel. And what also happens to the placement? I'm all over, right? And what happens to legato? It gets interrupted, right? No matter what I do, scoloriroŋ fredde. Right? I have a na in there. Okay. So the better option is rom fredde. So there are words like this, like the word for winter. So there's a V, there's another fricative. Inverno. You see how smooth? Broken. Infranto. Right? See? Infrangere. Right? The infinitive. You see what that? It's all in the bottom lip. And it's very smooth. Okay. So now there's another thing you can do wrong. This is the hardest assimilation for a non-Italian speaker to do, because it's completely, you have to really reverse engineer it, right? Well, you have this new trick. What if you overdo it like this? Ron then fredde, and you hold on to it, and you actually allow phonation on it, on the lip, it's going to be too much. It's going to be exaggerated, right? So I could do it wrong. I'm still technically doing it right, but I'm just hanging on to it too long, and I'm exaggerating it. And somebody's going to say, hey, that's weird, right? Scoloriroŋ. And that's actually what you do. You actually go in that position. But if you hang on to it and you put a fermata over it, you're going to get called out. Scoloriroŋ. You can't do that, you see? It has to go by so fast, no one notices. Scoloriroŋ fredde. Like that. Okay? So that's the first end assimilation and the most difficult. There are 3 others, and they're not so hard to get. Let's go on. A is a closed E. It is the word for and. The word for is has an accent, and it is open, e. Both of them are strong monosyllables. So if you notice, I've written a double K sound for cchiudesti, cchiudesti. Okay? Now, the esti ending on verbs is closed. Esti. Right? Closed D. Notice also CHI is ki, right? It's a K sound, right? And then there's a semivowel to get into the U. So I, U is always a semivowel. Q, right? So cchiudesti. Now, let's talk about the K sound in Italian. In most consonants in Italian, that they are more voiced than English. Right? So in English, if I had a K, I could say K with air through it, right? So if in Italian you said giu instead of Q, you said giu with a G. That's the voiced version of K, right? A G is the voiced version of K, right? So giu, but not Q. So what's the difference between voiced and unvoiced in Italian? Not very much. It's just enough to make it a K, right? So if I go giu, Q, and I think about the characteristic of the voiced one and just do enough so that the audience recognizes that it's a K, that's the one. So you never want air through it. Cchiudesti, right? And by no means does a double K mean a hard consonant. It actually just means a space. So in Italian, the force of the double consonant or the expression of the double consonant is done by the space, not by the force of the consonant, right? So cchiudesti. See? So how do I do the double? I elongate the vowel before. I know I'm talking a lot about this, right? But there's a lot of things you can do wrong, right? So you have a long vowel, you stop phonation, that makes the double. You go up to the K sound, and then you don't say it. Stop phonation, right? Go up to the K, don't say it. Cchiudesti, cchiudesti, cchiudesti. You see, and that's how you say it for lyric diction. So what I mean by lyric diction is the difference on how you have to sing Italian versus how you can speak Italian. Now in spoken Italian, you can get away with some stuff that you can't get away with in singing. It becomes not elegant. Okay? So, and this word also has yet another thing. It's the S. So when I speak, I can say cchiudesti. And notice I hiss the S. Listen again. Cchiudesti. You see? And the S hisses like a normal person. When I sing, I have to put the A completely on the note before and the S on the following note. Like this. Cchiudesti. Now I separated, right? You're going to do that legato. But again, cchiudesti. Cchiudesti. Not cchiudesti, where the S comes and bleeds onto the note. That's the difference from speech. So a lot of things you can do wrong in this one word, right? Cchiudesti. That's how you say it for singing. Okay, going on. We have, again, the interjection O causes a phrasal doubling. Double B, we already know how to do that. Bbimbo. Okay, now we have the word gli. Causes a lot of consternation amongst singers. right? So let's break that down. First of all, the final part of it is yi, right? Yi, right? But it's yi from an e position. So if you don't think e, right? It's way up there. Yi. Okay? I know I sound like I'm shouting. You go into an Italian restaurant in Italy and everybody's talking with their vowels and everybody sounds like they're shouting, right? So yi is the second part. Now it's preceded by an L that is held in phonation, right? Up there, tip of the tongue on the ridge behind the teeth. Yi. Yi. And you just have to say it fast. Yi. And unfortunately for us, is in American English, we do not use this much flesh when we speak, right? The flesh is like that when you speak in Italian. So li. And especially the next word is ɔcchi, right? So you have an open O, double C, and then an I. So you have to come from ɔcchi. Right? I know that's all exaggerated, right? But that's how much you have to do when you sing. Ɔcchi, ɔcchi. Same rule applies for the double C. You have a long vowel before you go up to the double C. You don't say it, right? And, right, one more question. You're probably asking, do we do 2 K sounds? No, we only do 1, right? We don't try to do ɔcchi, right? Right? And also we don't stop, right? ɔcchi. So it's always going forward. Okay, great. We got a lot of principles out of the way. So let's go on. Bɛlli. Bɛlli. And you can hear my Neapolitan accent a little bit, right? My family, we spoke Neapolitan, and I can't do an L properly, probably, right? But in Neapolitan, it's kind of like bɛlli, right? Bɛlli. It's more tip of the tongue in Northern Italian, right? In the dialect of Florence, right? Bɛlli. So we have an open E, and how do we get a double L? Well, we have to hold the L in phonation, right? So the L remains on the tip of your hard palate while you phonate. L with the vowel in the L. You see? Bell, belly. Okay. Single L would be belly, right? Very easy. You don't allow the tongue to stay in phonation. So non is non, closed. So when it's a negating word like not or not doing something, right? You didn't do something, it's non, known, closed. When it is the word no, like no, I'm not going to do it, it's open, not. Okay, so non, not. Now notice that the next word starts with a P, so you see another assimilation IPA symbol, that M. So let's do the word potendo, and then we'll put non and potendo together. So potendo, remember we're only worrying about the stress. And gerunds in Italian are open. Endo, right? So both of the O's are closed. Why? Because the accent is on the E vowel, right? So anything that's on the non-stressed is closed. Potendo. Okay? So we're putting non and potendo together. What happens? Watch my lips. Non potendo. Non potendo. I'll do it in slow motion. Non potendo, right? Now, that would be the exaggeration, right? You can't sing and hold your lips like that, but I just did it in slow motion. What happened? It just goes on my lips, right? It's an M, actually, that disappears into the P. There's no N at all, is there? Right? So this is the second N assimilation. N does whatever the next consonant does, whatever the position of the next consonant in Italian. Okay, so N's do harmonize, right? See, so in Italian, consonants harmonize and vowels do not. That's the difference, right? Big difference. So, if I were to put this in my mouth, non potendo, the same shadow vowel would happen, you see? So that's the mistake. Non potendo, right? The other thing is, I can exaggerate it and hang on to it, like as when I demonstrate in slow motion, right? So if you do sing nom and you hang out on that, it's going to sound weird, right? Again, it goes by as legato as possible and nobody notices that you did it. People do this in speech, and in fact, it's hard to get an Italian to admit that he or she does this because they just do it, right? So it's non potendo, right? It goes by so fast. Okay, so that's your best legato option. Okay, going on. Carezzarmi. Notice that the E is closed because the accent is on the A. The R rolls because it touches an M. Okay, let's go on. Le is a weak monosyllable. And this is actually a good combination of two words for single consonants, right? Manine, manine, right? So, mistakes, I hear manine, right? Double N's everywhere. We love that. We love to put N's where they're not, right? Manine. Okay, does that make sense? So how would I make them double? Holding the N in phonation, right? Manine. No matter what I do, I could try to do it softly. Manine. Double N, right? No matter what. It's not about loud or soft. It's about the phonation. Manine. Right? Purity test. A, E, A. Legato. A, E, A. Same feeling for single consonants. Manine. Okay, going on. Componesti. Close D on the stress. And that S rule, again, I can speak, I can say componesti and hiss the S. When I sing componesti, right? So you practice that. In croce. Now here's the third N assimilation, okay? So we have a closed O, a rolled R, in croce, single ch, right? Not croce. I hear that often. Croce. Okay, so what happens to the N exactly? Well, you're going to say croce. What happened? What part of the tongue makes that? The middle, right? Croce. And again, the k is like g. So if you were to say croce, croce, it's the same position, right? And again, it's very little unvoiced to it, right? Croce, croce. So the N is going to be made with the middle of the tongue. In croce. Third N assimilation. Okay. Actually, that's it. Then there's a fourth N that's actually normal N. It's with the tip of your tongue. So actually, there are 3 N assimilations. Okay, going on. Now, the next line presents us with a choice. Why? Is because we have 2 strong monosyllables in a row. So notice the word A is a strong monosyllable. The word to is a strong monosyllable. So, when you have 2 in a row, you need to pick one. Now, if I spoke, I could probably say e tu sei mɔrto. I could do both of them. Or if I were reading text. When you sing, it's too much. Right? So when you sing, you have to pick one or the other. Right? That's a rule. That's a good rule, right? So you can either say e tu sei mɔrto or e tu sei mɔrto. And you see how I did one or the other, right? So I either double the T or I double the S in the next line. So you can practice going back and forth. It's your choice. See which one you like. We've had all of these words, so we don't have to go word by word. Okay, going on. Senza, we've already had. Sapere. So this is the infinitive to know. This infinitive with ere at the end has a strong E, and that strong E is closed. So everything that is ere in this infinitive is closed, right? So you have lots of infinitives ending with ere, close the vowel. Sapere, not sapere, sapere. Notice that it's also single P, right? So sapere won't fly, right? Sapere. Quanto. So notice how the N precedes the T, right? So now this is the N with the tip of the tongue, but it doubles because it touches a consonant. So double N is not always written as double N. It can be written as single N if it precedes a consonant. Right? So watch again and watch how the pitch of this N would be in the word quanto, right? Now, here's another thing, right? If you look at the IPA for QU, it'll say QW or it'll say KW, right? That will lead Americans to use the W position, right, in English, which is wa down here, right? Wa, right? I know I'm making funny sounds, but that's where it is, right? So quanto, it's down there. Italian QW is not there, and in fact, it doesn't exist. It's really very, and if I did it in slow motion, it's ku, ah, ku. It's from a U position. Quanto, quanto. It's just the U is a semivowel. Quanto. You understand? Not quanto. It doesn't go up. It's from the top. It starts up. Ku, up there. Quanto. Okay? I've never seen this explained anywhere, and I see IPA with a W, and it's very misleading, right? So if I could persuade people to do that, they instantly sound more Italian. Going on. This is a great word, amava, for ah, right? So you have to do purity test. Ah, ah, ah. 3 ahs, right? Not tamava. That's what we do as soon as we're not thinking, right? Tamava, ah, ah, ah. It's also a great word for single consonants. Amava, right? Not amava. The M is most likely to get doubled if you phonate, if you let it. Okay, good. Questa, we already know the U is high. These words, questa, quello, right? Questo, they're all closed E's. Going on. Tua, right? The accent is on the U, but notice that the A is not the accented, but it's not neutralized, right? So tua, not tua. I can't tell you how many times if somebody is not paying attention, what happens there, and you end up with an A vowel, right? Let's go on. Tua mamma. So mama means somebody loves, right? Somebody loves me, right? Mama, he or she loves me. Mama, 1M. Mama is mother, right? Mama, double M. And we know we hold the M in phonation. Okay, going on. Ora, closed O. Okay, so ORA means now or our is closed. ORO is gold and it's open. Auto. Ora, auto. Right? So that's the difference. Gold, time. The problem with this word, both of these words, is that in librettos you'll see them as OR. In the context you have to know whether it's open or closed, right? So if you're saying now, or, if it's gold, something d'or, it usually has an of gold before it in Italian, right? Okay. We already know K is a strong monosyllable. Oh, I don't believe we had it, but K is a strong monosyllable. It's closed. So you would say ssɛi, you're not hissing the S. Sɛi, we've already had, it's open E. Plain old N, finally, right? Angelo. Angelo. Notice the double N going into the J, right? Angelo, but with the tip of the tongue, right? Angelo. Del, closed E. Ciɛlo. See, so it's very easy to say ciɛlo, right? And that's the musical instrument. Ciɛlo. Open E, right? We tend to close the C because we don't like to do a single consonant with an open vowel. It's very easy when we have an open vowel to make a double, right? But ciɛlo, you have to just leave it. Ciɛlo, ciɛlo, not ciɛl. No phonation on the L. Going on. Ora, we've already had. Tu is a strong monosyllable. Ppuɔi. So it's ppuɔi. Open O. It does not rhyme with boy. I hear all the time ppuɔi, right? Ora tu ppuɔi. Ppuɔi. And that's something I've been trying to get rid of for a long time. It's ppuɔi. 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 And I know we hear boy, right? okay, but it's not. It's ppuɔi. Going on. Here's a vedere is the infinitive. Remember, all the 8a infinitives are closed, right? So it does not rhyme with chair, the second, right? I hear vederla, right? Chair. I'm exaggerating. I'm being evil, right? But vederla. That's how you do your purity test, right? Vederla. Okay, going on. La is a weak monosyllable. Right? LA, meaning the, not the city, LA, right? La, the, right? So now there's another LA, la, with an accent, and that means over there. That's a strong monosyllable. So if I say over there, la dove, double D, you see? So if you see the la with the accent, that's a doubling word. This is a weak monosyllable, so there's a single T. La tua. And we've had mamma. Okay, we've had tu ppuɔi again. Okay. Scendo, scendere. This is all closed. It's not shen. Right? And scendere, right? Scendere. So closed E. Right? Now the sh is a double consonant in Italian, right? So after ppuɔi, it ends in a vowel, right? Ppuɔi shen, right? Ppuɔi scendere, tu puoi scendere, not tu puoi scendere. It's not loose. It's tu puoi scendere. You have to, like the word lasciare, you have to give it its own stroke, right? Lasciare, lasciare, scendere. Tu puoi scendere. Does that make sense at all, right? It's not tu puoi I can't do it. Tu puoi the weak, right? It's a strong. Okay, going on. Giù. Now, this is a word that ends with it's a one-syllable word with an accent. One-syllable words with an accent will cause a phrasal doubling, right? So giù ppel. So just very slight double P. P-E-L is closed. This is a contraction. It's closed. Firmamento. So all the nouns that have ento as the ending are going to have a closed E. Right? Something in Italian, like it's something-ness. That's what it is. Like, you know, cleanliness, firmamento, right? The heaven, the heavens in this case. Right? So that's going to be closed. IR is not, it's fir, ir, right? That's how you practice your purity test. Firmamento. Let's go on. ED is the same as A, but the D is there to make it beautiful, because aleggiare is not so beautiful, so the D is there just for beauty's sake. Aleggiare, right? Nice, right? So Italians care about beauty in the world. Aleggiare, right? So no double L. And you see, I struggle with that for a second, right? Not putting a double L in there. Ed aleggiare. So the thing is to not trip, to wait until you trip on the G, right? E aleggiare. So keep going, and then trip on the double G. Notice that the GI is like CI. This, in this case, it's not giare, but it's there just to make the G soft. Not gare. GA would be gare. Giare. Notice also that all of the unstressed E's in this, and they're all closed. Intorno. So every O in this word is closed. Note again the N going into the T. Amme. So a is a strong monosyllable, and that causes a phrasal doubling, right? But this, you don't want to do M too much, right? Just the slightest bit. And if you're in doubt, leave it out, right? So amme ti sento. So T is a weak monosyllable. Sento, open E, closed O. Notice that we had the word miɛi also is a strong monosyllable. So notice I've written this text out twice, right? So you could say a me ti sento or a me ti sento. See, I doubled either the M of miɛi or the T, because miɛi is also a strong monosyllable. Okay, let's go on. Sei qui, mi baci. So the M doubles because qui is also strong monosyllable, right? You could do it across the rest, right? So sometimes there's a doubling across the rest. One of the most famous ones is in Liu's aria, "Ah, signor," right? There's a rest, but it's a double S, right? So, "Se qui mi baci." See, very subtle, right? Just enough to make it spicy. E m'accarezzi. So notice that is a double C and there's a closed E on the stress. M'accarezzi. And we have flipped R. And I don't believe we've had one flipped R yet in this. So here's the first R that's surrounded by vowels. Notice that it's not m'accarezzi, but it's m'accarezzi. So how do we flip an R? It's like the same position as a D, as if I said m'accarezzi, but instead of with the flat part, making the tip of my tongue flat, I just do it with the tip, right? So m'accarezzi, just like I'm saying a D, but I don't. The interjection a is a strong monosyllable. A dimmi, right? So the more expressive I get, the longer the space, right? So if I'm only mildly excited, it's a dimmi, right? If I'm really excited, a dimmi, right? Bigger space. Never the force of the D. Okay, going on. Quando, we've had. Incel, we've had. Potrò. Okay, future tense. And a lot of words ending with stressed O are usually going to be open O. So this is o, potrò. And then the strong stress on the ultimate syllable will cause a doubling. Potrò vederti. You see? So double V is like double B. It doesn't stop phonation. I don't do potrò. No. Potrò vederti. So just a little to get me through, to make it al dente, and that's it. Remember, vedere, it's all closed, right? It's not veder, rhyming with chair. That happens very more often than we'd like to admit, right? Vederti. Quando, we've had. Potrò baciarti. This is very dangerous to double this B, as I've indicated, right? So if you're in doubt, leave it out, right? If you can do it, if you've mastered double B, put it in, but it has to just be a little bit, right? Potrò baciarti. That's it. So little, right? O dolce, double D, right? And closed O. Dolce. Notice how the L sings, right? Dolce, right? So you always keep your words propelling themselves forward, right? Fine, closed D. D'ogni. So this is the ni of lasagna, but unfortunately when we say lasagna, yeah, it's down there. Gna, it's up there for Italian. Ni, right? So it's yi, again, yi, preceded by n. Ni. Mio, possessive pronoun. The first vowel gets all the stress. Dolore, closed O. Another flipped R in between vowels. Quando, we have. Incel, we've had. Potrò salire, double S. Right? Salire, closed E. Okay, and this gets to the last point. If you've seen the Nico Cristel books or even Colorni's books, the endings in the unstressed are marked as open, right? And people started to do that. They started to notice when Italian singers were recording Italian that they tended to open, they tended to stretch the spoken when they sang, right? So their A and their O became A and O, like that, more stretched, like as in shouting, right? But you're not the pressure of shouting, but the stretch of shouting. by no means should you sing these as a and a as open vowels when you see them, right? All those unstressed. Over the years, I've had a lot of success persuading singers who have been singing them open, as they seen in the book, to sing them as A and O. It's way easier for singing, okay? So try that. So dolore, closed O. Salire, closed O, right at the end. Okay, so now you have morire. So everything is going to be closed in this word because the accent is on the E. We only worry about stressed vowels, right? So the O and the E are closed. Notice that potrò morire, again, it doubles the M, right? Potrò morire. Dillo. We know how to do double L. I'm not going to go over it. Alla, mamma. All of these, right? This is a very good line. Dillo alla mamma. Creatura. Notice that the accent of the word is on the U vowel, so the E is closed. Bella. We've already had bello and bella. We know that's open. Con un leggero. So we have the stress in leggero is an open E with a flipped R and a closed E on the prefix. Leggero. Scintillar. We actually have two double consonants in this word. Did you notice? The N is also double, right? Because it touches a T. Scintillar. And also we end with final R. Now, the rule for final R is the same. If you stop, you roll. If you touch a consonant, you roll. If it's surrounded by vowels, it is flipped. And in this case, we have a DI afterwards. So it's scintillar. Di stella, right? Stella. Close the double L. Parlami. Amore. Close though. No rolled R. This word I hear wrong all the time. Amore, right? Like you're from Naples, right? You sound like my relatives. Amore. Closed O. Single M. Rolled R. Okay? So now we're experts on everything, right? I've told you, we've gone through every single phenomenon, every single formula that happens in this aria. So now let's do it line by line. So finding long arcs and only one down per phrase, right? Here we go. Senza mamma, o bimbo tu sei morto. And even more, we want to do even a better arc than that, right? So, senza mamma, o bimbo tu sei morto. Le tue labbra senza I baci miei. Scoloriroŋ fredde e cchiudesti, o bimbo, gli occhi belli. Is that your first down? Non potendo carezzarmi, le manine componesti in croce, e tu sei morto, senza sapere quanto t'amava questa tua mamma. Ora che sei un angelo del cielo, ora tu puoi vederla la tua mamma. Tu puoi scendere giù pel firmamento ed aleggiare intorno a me ti sento. Sei qui mi baci e m'accarezzi, dimmi quando in ciel potrò vederti, quando potrò baciarti. O dolce fini d'ogni mio dolore, quando in ciel potrò salire, quando potrò morire. Dillo alla mamma, creatura bella, con un leggero scintillar di stella. Parlami, amore. Thank you very much for watching. Please share, please like. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to see your coach. And as always, we will see you at the opera.